Hey there. Today we're talking about something that might be more important than any business tactic or strategy I could teach you. And here's the question. Why do someone or some entrepreneurs bounce back from rejection stronger than ever, while others get knocked down once and never get back up? Same rejection, completely different response. So, what's the difference? Why that happens? So, let me tell you a story about a person who had just gotten rejected by her dream client. It was a big opportunity, who have changed her business and they went to someone else. This person felt I'm not good enough. I knew I shouldn't have put myself out there. This always happens to me. Those were this person's thoughts. This is a classic self sabotage thinking. The rejection was confirming her deepest fear that success wasn't possible for her. But after this person did the personal work, dug into her why beneath the why, she reframed what rejection actually meant for her. And 6 months later, she landed three clients that were bigger than the one that rejected her. She mentioned that rejection was the best thing that ever happened to me. It forced me to get clear on what I really wanted and stop, kind of selling her for opportunities where really weren't fully aligned with her mission and vision. It was the same person who said that. This person had a different belief system and a completely different outcome. So, this is exactly the kind of transformation we create through private coaching. We don't just work on your business strategy, which of course is super important, but we work on you, on your belief system, right? On the internal blocks that they're keeping you stuck, because that's where the real breakthrough happen. And that's what drives me to have the business that I have, the all the coaching that I've done since I started with my training with mindset coaching and now business coaching. It's just such an important thing to work on your mindset. So today we are getting practical. I am going to walk you through how to find the deeper why that will sustain you as a business owner and as a person through the hard times. How to completely change your relationship with rejection so it doesn't destroy you, and exactly what to do when you realize that you're stuck in those limiting beliefs. This is the real work, the internal work that most entrepreneurs avoid because it's uncomfortable. But if you are ready to do it, let's just go dive in and then you'll see how this can transform you. So let me start by talking about something that is going to help you actually shift your belief system and achieve the success you want. Finding your why beneath the why. Because here's what I've learned these past 4 years in business, and in not in just in business, but in getting coached by very good coaches and help my mindset. Your surface level why won't be powerful enough to sustain you through the hard parts of building a business. You have to have that why underneath the why. And trust me, there are hard parts in this. There are moments when you want to quit, when the money, it's not coming in, when you get rejected, when people tell you you're crazy, when you are working 80 hours a week and your friends are out having fun. In those moments, if your why is a surface level why, like I want to make money, or your why is I want just freedom, or your why is I want to help people, that's just not, that just won't be enough for you. You need something deeper, something that connects to your core identity, your values, and maybe even your pain. So let me explain what I mean by why, the why beneath the why, because I haven't seen that a lot. And I think this is something that a lot of people are missing, and business owners can really think differently about how they can see themselves as a person, as a business owner. So your first level why is usually what you will tell someone in a networking event. It's like, it's the polite, socially acceptable version of I want to help small business grow. I want to create financial freedom for my family. I want to solve this problem in the marketplace, which is great. These are great whys. Those are my whys. But the world will celebrate these whys, but they're not really deep enough for you. Your why beneath the why is the raw, honest, sometimes uncomfortable truth about what's really driving you. And it's almost always connected to one of these three things. One is providing something to yourself. Maybe you grew up being told you weren't smart enough, or that people like you don't succeed, or that you should play it safe, or deep down, you're building this business to prove to yourself that those voices were wrong. That could be one. The other one is it's a healing something from your past. Maybe you watch your parents struggle financially and you're determined that your kids will never feel that insecurity, or you experience injustice in your industry and you're building a company that does it differently, or you felt invisible and now you're creating something that makes you others don't feel invisible. I mean, I have so many underneath whys that is crazy. So I'm sure you will find more than one. And then the third one is changing something in the world that hurts you. Maybe you were discriminated against and now you're building a company that celebrates diversity, or you were sold overpriced, underwhelming products, and then now you are creating something more, honest and valuable, or you were talked down to, by experts, and now you're building a business that treats customers with respect. Here is why this matters. When you connect to your why beneath the why, you tap into a completely different level of energy and commitment. It is not just about making money anymore. It's not about providing that person wrong who say you never um, how can I say this? You're not, you will never do what you are, you think that you would want it to do. It's not about the freedom. It's about making sure your kids never experience, maybe the poverty you grew up with. It's not about, about helping people per se. It's about creating the solution you desperately needed when you were struggling and couldn't find it anywhere. So the deeper why, that will get you out of bed at 5 a.m. in the morning. That will keep you going when you get maybe your 47th rejection. That will give you the courage to bet on yourself when everyone else thinks that you're crazy, because people think that you're crazy. That's what happens when you are a business owner. So, how do you find your why beneath the why? So, ask yourself these questions and be really brutally honest with this. Ask the question, what personal experience or pain point is actually driving this business? Not the sanitized version, the real raw truth. That's what we want to capture here. What happened to you or someone you love that made you say, there has to be a better way? What are you trying to prove and to whom? Even if it's uncomfortable to admit it, are you trying to prove something to your parents, to that teacher who said you weren't college material, to yourself, to that ex who didn't believe in you? I'm sure there's something behind that. Or what about what injustice or problem do you see in the world that makes you angry? Not kind of annoyed, generally fire up. Where do you see people being taken advantage of, talked down to, ignore, or underserved in a way that personally bothers you? And that's why that's your driving. If money is not an object, if success is guaranteed, what would you still do this? Would you still do this? If the answer is no, you haven't found your real why yet. Your real why is about more than just the outcome. It's about the mission itself. It's very personal. What would you what would it mean about you if the business failed? This question will reveal your worthiness issues. If your answer is I'm not cut out for, let's say, entrepreneurship, I'm not smart enough, that that is a deep worthiness issue you need to address. So write these answers down, sit with them for a while, let them get you uncomfortable. Because here's what I know. Your why beneath the why is usually connected to the thing you least want to talk about, vulnerability thing, the painful thing, the thing that still stings when you think about it. But that is where your power is. That is where your unshakable commitment comes from. When you're clear on your why beneath the why, rejection doesn't destroy you, it fuels you. Those setbacks don't stop you, they will redirect you. Doubt doesn't consume you, it will motivate you. Because you're not just building a business, you are healing something. And I'm going to repeat that. You are healing something. You are proving something. You're changing something. And that work is too important to quit. That's why that why underneath the why is so important. Okay, so let's talk about rejection, because how you handle rejection is a direct reflection of your belief system. And every entrepreneur, every single one faces rejection. That's normal, it's unavoidable, and you actually want to face that. So the question is, what does it mean to you? So if you have a weak belief system, rejection will confirm your fears. When someone says no, your brain immediately goes, see, I knew this wouldn't work for me. I was right to doubt myself. One rejection becomes evidence of your unworthiness. Two rejections become a pattern. Three rejections become proof that you should just give up. But if you have a strong belief system, then rejection is just data. It's just feedback. It's just redirection. When someone says no, your brain goes, okay, that wasn't the right fit. Next, moving on. You don't take it personally because your worth isn't, on the line. You're not seeking validation from external sources because you've already validated yourself internally. So you're fine. You feel fine with it. So here's the paradigm shift I want you to consider. What if rejection is actually protection? What if those closed doors are keeping you from settling from something that something smaller than what you deserve? What if those no's are redirecting you towards something better? Think about it. Every entrepreneur has a story about the deal that fell through, the investor who passed, the client who chose someone else. And in retrospect, it was the best thing that could have happened because it opened up space for something better. But you typically don't think that way, right? But when we only see that in hindsight, in that moment, rejection feels personal. It feels like failure. It feels like evidence that we are not good enough. So, how do we change our relationship with rejection in that moment? So, first, separate your worth from your outcomes. Your business outcomes do not determine your worth as a human being. You're not more worthy when you get a yes, and you are less worthy when you get a no. And this sounds simple, but it's actually very profound. Most of us are walking around letting our business needs, our business results dictate our self esteem. We had a good sales day, then, if that happens, we feel amazing. When we lost a client, we are terrible. And that's exhausting. And there is also a belief system problem. So we want to start collecting rejection. And I'm serious about this. Keep a rejection log. Every time you get a no, write it down, because here's what's going to happen. 6 months from now, a year from now, you're going to look back at that list and realize that half of those rejections led directly to better opportunities. That client who said no, they would have been a nightmare to work with anyway. That investor who passed you, you found better funding that didn't dilute your equity as much. That partnership that fell through, it freed you up to partner with someone aligned with your values. So when you start collecting the rejection as data instead of taking it as a personal attack, everything changes. Third, we want to ask better questions about after that rejection. So we want to, you instead of asking, what's wrong with me because something didn't work out, then ask, what can I learn from this? What would I do differently next time? Is this actually the right fit for where I'm trying to go? What opportunity is this making space for? I mean, I ask these questions all the time, so this is part of my everyday. But so these questions keep you in growth mode instead of a shame mode, right? They keep you focused on what you can control, your actions, your improvements, instead of what you can't, other people's opinions of you. This is where you need to focus on. So, and here's the truth: the most successful entrepreneurs aren't the ones who never face rejection, because everyone does. They are the ones who've changed their relationship with it, how they face it, how they internalize it. They have learned to see rejection as redirections towards something better, data from improving their approach, protection from opportunities that weren't aligned, evidence that they are putting themselves out there and are taking risks, and you want that. Because here's the thing: if you're not getting rejected regularly, you're playing too small. You are only pursuing opportunities where success is guaranteed. And guaranteed success means you are not growing, you are not stretching, you are not becoming the version of yourself capable of bigger things. This is the whole 10x philosophy. Seriously. So to start thinking the closed doors it's another one. And this is a big one. Thank the investor who said no to you. They save you from giving away too much equity. Thank the client who ghosted you, because that happens. So they would have been maybe high maintenance or low value client. Thank the partnership that fell apart. It freed you up for something better aligned with your vision. And this is not just positive thinking. This is a fundamental shift in your belief system. So from rejection means I'm not good enough to rejection is part of the path to where I'm meant to be. And that shift, that is the deepest work. That's the believing you're worthy regardless of external validation. Okay, so we have covered the why beneath the why and changing your relationship with rejection. Now, let's talk about what you can actually do this week to start building that unshakable belief system. Let's go into the steps. Step number one, identify where you're stuck. Be brutally honest with yourself. What's holding you back right now? Is it clarity? You don't know exactly where you want to build. You are exploring multiple ideas. You haven't committed to one specific vision. Your action. Get uncomfortable with the commitment. Pick one thing, write it down in 10 words or less, and say, I'm building a business that blah, blah, blah. If you can complete that sentence clearly, that is the work that you need to do this week. Is it maybe action paralysis? That could be another one. So you know what you want to do, but you're not moving forward. You're stuck in planning mode, consuming content, waiting to feel ready. So if that's the case, if you're in action paralysis, your action will be stop consuming and start creating, start taking action. What's one thing you can do in the next 24 hours that moves your business forward? Do it before you feel ready, because you will never feel ready. And this is such a problem for entrepreneurs. They try to wait for everything to be perfect to launch, to do, and that will never be the case, because you will iterate and iterate and iterate. So stop feeling that you need to be ready and do it. Do what they take the action. Is the question self-doubt? You see other people succeeding, but you don't believe it's possible for you. You have a million reasons why it works for them, but it won't work for you. So what's your action? Evidence collection. Start documenting every small win, every client testimonial, every problem you solved. Keep a win journal, all the wins that you have, because your brain will naturally forget the wins and always remember the failures. That's how our brain works. So, and also find someone with a similar background who's already now where you want to be. If they can do it, why not you? And then the last one is a worthiness. This is the deepest issue. You might achieve success, but then you sabotage it. You play small. You undercharge it. You don't go after what you really want. So this is where your deep work begins. Notice your self-sabotage patterns. When do you play small? When do you pull back? There's usually a pattern there. Challenge your worthiness stories. Where did they come from? Who told you that you weren't worthy? Are you still going to let that voice run your life? Practice receiving. Start saying thank you to compliments without deflecting. Practice actually receiving what comes to you. And get support. This level often requires therapy, coaching, deep personal work. Don't try to do it alone. I'm telling you, everyone should have a coach. And if you need other type of therapy, it's fine. You can go to a therapist, but everyone needs help. Your action step number 2 will be complete the why beneath the why exercise. Set aside an hour this week, put it in your calendar right now, and work through those 5 questions that I shared earlier. Write out your answers, make it feel uncomfortable, and get that raw truth from you. No one have to see it. It's just internally, it's your own work for you to understand where you're sitting today. Then put it somewhere else where you can see it. And, so when things get hard, because you're going to go back to that and it's going to help you. And then the step number 3 will be start your rejection collection, meaning from today forward, every rejection gets logged. You write it down. And next to it, write what you learn or how it might be protecting you. So look at it from a different angle. Then check back in 3 months and see how this changes your relationship with the rejection. Okay, so that's it. That's the work. I know it's not an easy work to do, but it's really important to help you with the shift that you need probably. And now, and this is something that you cannot delegate or outsource. This is some work that you really need to do. This is the internal work that determines whether you're going to be someone who dreams about entrepreneurship or someone who actually builds something meaningful and sustainable. Okay, so let me recap what we covered today because that was a lot. So we talked about finding your why beneath the why, the deeper motivation that goes beyond I want to make money or freedom. Be real, the raw, sometimes uncomfortable truth about what's driving you, because that is what will keep you going when you are going through hard times. We talk about changing your relationship with rejection. So seeing it as data and redirection instead of a personal failure. Understand that rejection is often protection, keeping you from settling down or from things that maybe you don't deserve, or that felt that for you are, you have better things coming your way. So don't feel like you don't deserve it. It's just something else is coming your way that is better. And then when we cover about practical action steps, identify where you're stuck, where it is clarity, action, self-doubt, or worthiness, and what specific things you can do this week to start moving forward. And remember, you are not just building a business, you're building the version of yourself who's capable of receiving, maintaining, and expanding the success you are creating. That is the real work of entrepreneurship. And honestly, it is the most important work you will ever do. It is so personal that it's just it's your life, it's your driving force. So here's my challenge to you. Don't just consume this content, actually do the exercises. Write out your why beneath the why, start your rejection log, identify where you're stuck, and take one concrete action this week. Because knowledge without application is just entertainment. And if you're sitting here thinking, I need help with this, I can't do this alone, you're right. This is actually, and why I do the work that I do with entrepreneurs, why I have my private practice, why I do private coaching, and we work on both, not just the business strategy, but the mindset transformation that you need to actually execute the strategy. Because you can have all the tactics in the world, but if you don't believe you're worthy of success, those tactics can create and then it can help you in some point, but you will sabotage yourself every single time. So the deep work has to happen in order to be successful. If you are interested in exploring whether private coaching is right for you, head over to my website, marianadalto.com, or go to my YouTube channel where I talk about coaching as well. But and let's connect. I'm happy to have a conversation if you think that could be something that you might want to explore. Let's talk about where you are stuck, what's possible for you, and how we can work together to get you there. Because here's what I know for sure. You didn't listen to this entire episode by accident. Something in you is ready for this transformation. You are here for a reason. Something in you knows it's time to stop playing small and start building the business and the life that you actually want. So take that next step, do the work. And if you want any support along the way, I'm here. And there's plenty other coaches. If I'm not the right coach for you, I'm part of the 10X community. There's other coaches that can help you as well. But just get the help, because I know you're gonna move faster that way. I promise you, it's gonna be a life changing for you. So thanks again. Thanks for being here today. Now go become the entrepreneur who's worth of the success that you're building. And I will see you in the next episode. Thank you.